Welcome back to another episode of the Sports Playbook, where I'll give you a breakdown of what's been happening in the world of sport over the last 7 days in 15 minutes or less. You're joined by your host Demos. It's been a huge week in the world of sports, so the clock's ticking, you know the drill, let's get right into it. In the AFL, the West Coast Eagles were minutes away from the upset of the season. It was the bottom of the ladder versus the top of the ladder, and for the West Coast Eagles, they paid tribute to Dom Sheed and Jeremy McGovern as they farewelled their Eagles fans. The West Coast Eagles, they played some of their best football across the whole season. They led for majority of this match, but the Adelaide Crows, they snuck home to win by 9 points. In the other games, Jeremy Cameron kicked another 4 goals in his pursuit to kick 100 goals in one season in Geelong's victory by 44 points. Cameron now sits on 79 goals for the season. Collingwood, they were unable to celebrate Steel Sidebottom's 350th career game as they went down to Hawthorn by 64 points. For Collingwood, that is their 4th loss in the last 5 games. But in better news for Collingwood, Scott Pendlebury has signed a 1-year extension so the 37-year-old can play his 21st season of AFL. Scott Pendlebury is currently on 421 games. He's only 11 games away from breaking the AFL all-time record. That record is currently held by Brent Harvey, the North Melbourne AFL legend. And in the NRL, the Roosters and Dolphins game gets fiery. At Suncorp Stadium in the first half, to say it got fiery is probably an understatement. Probably comes as no surprise to most people. It was Roosters forward Spencer Leniu who was involved in the altercation. Both Spencer Leniu and Dolphins forward Francis Mola were both sin-binned along with 2 other players that made 4 sin-bins in the first half. It meant that both sides played 11 on 11 for the last bit of the first half. This was before the Roosters went on to thrash the Dolphins 64-12. In the local derby, the Dragons defeated the Sharks by 8 points to win 22-14. It was a huge upset, especially when it comes to the top 8. And for the Rabbitohs, they welcomed back Latrell Mitchell as he helped the Bunnies to break a 9-game losing streak, defeating the Titans 20-18. And unfortunately, for Brisbane Broncos fans, both of their halves went down with hamstring injuries in the game against the Storm. Both Ezra Mam and Adam Reynolds will be out for a fair few weeks. It's a huge disadvantage heading into the final series. And in the NRLW, the Roosters create NRLW history. The Roosters went to the Gold Coast to play the Titans, and they defeated them 24-8. The Roosters now hold the longest winning streak in NRLW history. It started back in round 6 of 2024. It's continued to round 6 of 2025. 2024 Dally M medal winner Olivia Koenig starred for the Roosters. Koenig had 32 tackles for 177 run meters. 72 of those run meters were post-contact in an impressive display. The Roosters, they remain in first position on the NRLW ladder. In cricket, Grace Harris stars in the 100 in England. For those that don't know, the 100 is a new cricket format that was established by the Cricket and Wales Board back in 2021. You might ask how this works? Each innings is 100 balls. A bowler can choose to bowl 5 balls or 10 balls consecutively, and the whole game will only last for 2.5 hours. It's really reducing it to try and make it more family friendly. The competition is also city-based, so it picks the 8 major cities in both England and Wales. Grace Harris, who plays for the London Spirit, has starred in the opening matches. Harris has helped the Spirit defend their championship status and 100% win record for the franchise. In the first game, Grace Harris scored 89 of 42 balls, and in the third game, Harris scored 50 off 32 balls. Grace Harris currently holds on to the highest run scorer total in the tournament so far. The other two positions, Meg Lanning, another Australian, and Beth Mooney, another Australian. So the podium is all made up of Australians. In football, both the men's and the women's Western United teams had their club licence stripped by Football Australia. It comes only 3 years after the men's won the A-League title in 2021 to 2022. Since they won the A-League title, it's been reported that Western United have had financial struggles, especially paying their staff and their players with delayed financial payments. And recently, FIFA have stopped the registration of any new club contracts due to a dispute with a former Western United player. For Western United though, they have 7 days to appeal the decision by Football Australia. In football, Steph Catley has been shortlisted for the highest international football award. Matilda's captain Steph Catley is one of 30 nominees for the prestigious Ballon d'Or, which is held on September 22nd. It comes after Catley has had an incredible year for both Arsenal and for the national side, the Matildas. With 138 caps for Australia, Catley was the only Matilda player that was nominated for the highest award. Catley has been nominated alongside 6 other teammates for Arsenal for the prestigious award. In basketball, the Boomers are through to the quarterfinals in the Asian Cup. In the pool stages, the Boomers have already defeated Qatar, Lebanon, and South Korea. And on Wednesday, the 13th of August, they will go up against their old rivals, the Philippines. Some people might remember that the Boomers went up against the Philippines back in 2018 in that infamous fight on the court. So, can the Boomers get the better of the Philippines in the quarterfinals? And finally, in surfing, another record has been broken. It's for the youngest surfer ever in the WSL. In the Tahiti Pro, Carlina Garlina became the youngest surfer ever in WSL history. For Carlina, she went into the competition as a 12-year-old, and during the competition, she turned 13 years old. For Carlina, she had to go up against Molly Picklum and Lakey Peterson. Carlina was knocked out by Hawaiian surfer Gabrielle O'Brien in the elimination round. That is your weekly headlines. We'll take a short break here and after get into your burning rubber breakdown. It's time for the burning rubber breakdown. Let's burn it up. In supercars, Red Bull Racing's Brock Feeney becomes the Sprint Cup champion. At Queensland Raceway, which Supercars has not visited since 2019, Brock Feeney dominated the weekend, winning 2 out of a possible 3 races. With those 2 victories over the weekend, Brock Feeney became the Sprint Cup champion. In the 25 races so far in 2025, bit of a tongue twister, Brock Feeney has won 12 out of those races, a dominant season. For supercars, they are now entering their endurance campaign. This is where the primary drivers welcome a co-driver for the longer races. The first race is in South Australia at the Bend, which will be held from the 12th of September to the 14th of September. And in NASCAR, Shane Van Gisbergen has won his 4th race of the season. At Watkins Glen, Shane Van Gisbergen, otherwise known as SVG, has won the race by over 10 seconds in a dominant display. He went on to say that the day was flawless, and with that victory, SVG has picked up 22 playoff points, which means he has a chance of winning the NASCAR championship. That is your burning rubber breakdown for the week. And with that, it's time to get into our fast fact for a pub chat. Time to pull up a chair and pour yourself a drink. It's this week's fast fact for a pub chat. And with the preseason of the NFL already underway, I thought we could look to the NFL for this week's Fast Fact. Do you know what the longest field goal is in the NFL regular season? It's 66 yards, which is 60 meters, and the record is held by Justin Tucker from the Baltimore Ravens that was set back in 2021. So it begs the question, do you think an AFL or an NRL player could break this record? That is this week's Fast Fact for a Pub Chat. And now it's time for our Playbook Planner. Here are some games to look forward to this weekend. And the AFLW, that's right, the season is back on. Carlton will go up against Collingwood on Thursday, the 14th of August from 7:15 p.m. You can catch it on KO Sports. And in the NRL, it's a battle of the top four. It's the Panthers taking on the Storm from Thursday, the 14th of August at 7:50 p.m. You can catch it only on Channel 9 and KO. In the NRL, the Roosters will take on the Bulldogs. For the Roosters, this is a huge clash and a must-win to get into the top 8. It's on Friday, the 15th of August at 8 p.m. You can catch it on Channel 9 and KO. And in the AFL, it's the Gold Coast Suns taking on the GWS Giants. It's on Saturday, the 16th of August at 12:35 p.m. You can catch it only on KO Sports. And in the cricket, it's another T20 International. It's Australia taking on South Africa on Saturday, the 16th of August from 7 p.m. You can catch it only on KO Sports. And in the AFL, it's the Adelaide Crows taking on Collingwood in a top 3 clash. It's on Saturday, the 16th of August from 7:35 p.m. You can only catch this on KO Sport. And in the NRLW, it's the Roosters taking on the Knights in a top 3 clash. It's on Sunday, the 17th of August from 1:45 p.m. You can catch this on Channel 9 and KO Sports. And with that, we have come to the end of today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please leave a review wherever you listen to this podcast, and we will catch you on the next play.